Welcome to the Hollywood Raw podcast. I am Dax Holt here in sunny, beautiful California. That over there is Adam Glyn in New York. And today is our Raw Rundown. So we're going to get into all the top entertainment stories of the week. Of course, we're going to be talking all about this Laguna Beach reunion and Kristin Cavallari and Conrad coming back together and how that turned out. We're going to get into Rachel Ray talking about how she stayed married for 20 years, even all the nagging she claims. We're going to get into Jaime Lynn Spears unfollowing Kevin Federline because of something that he said in his book, and Victoria Beckham actually addressing some of those cheating rumors that have been throughout the years. So she briefly touches on that during her Call Her Daddy podcast episode. So we're going to get into all that. Stick around. It's a great episode. Adam, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing well. I think I might have been late to it, but I'm watching Tulsa King right now. It's not great, but it's good enough. It gets cheesy at times, but it's fun enough. I did watch the new Naked Gun.
Was it good?
It was great. It was fun. Is it a Mel Brooks movie that's going to change your life? No. But it's exactly what you want it to be. It's got really good beats to it. That's very similar to the old Naked Guns that I liked. And then
like the stupid humor
Liam Neeson. I thought Liam Neeson, perfect for it. He does a great job at it. Pam Anderson is excellent in the movie. So I did that. I did actually, Dax, I went to a screening this week for this documentary. And so I'm at the screening for this documentary this week, right? You've been to premieres, and premieres are at movie theaters. What they do is the movie theater will kind of stay somewhat open, but they have like one theater that's a big theater that they reserve like that floor for the screening. And so I'm on the red carpet. The red carpet went long and the movie got pushed back because the main person of the it was Allen Iverson, athlete, played for 76ers. He got there so late that they pushed the movie back until he got there and he was on the red carpet. But afterwards, after he was there, I wound up interviewing this guy Winston, Jameis Winston, who is one of the quarterbacks of the New York Giants. So I interviewed him, but by the time I got done, the premiere already started. The movie already started. And I didn't want to walk into the theater of like big name people after the movie already started. Like I didn't want to be that guy. I didn't want it to be weird. So instead of going to watch the premiere, I just went to another movie theater, watched the new Channing Tatum movie, and then just went to the after party. Honestly, I think that might be my new thing. Cover red carpets. When I'm in the movie theater, just go see some other random movie that I want to see. It's my cheap way of going to the movies. And I saw the new Channing Tatum movie. It was fun. It was good. The Roofman movie where he plays it's based on a true story, plays this guy who's arrested, sneaks out of jail, and then like lives in a Toys R Us for a couple of years. It's a fun movie. It's not, I mean,
Does
it
he
was
live,
good.
and he would just sneak into the Toys R Us every night?
No, he basically like set up shop in the Toys R Us. He kind of found he kind of went in through the wall one night when he was in the bathroom, kind of hid in there, and he realized, don't like when you run out of jail, like don't keep running. Find a spot and hide there for a while.
But he was he was literally living inside the store every day and night.
In the night, and he would sleep during the day and kind of hang out in the store at night and like keep himself entertained by like playing with stuff. And he was
so funny. He
kind of had this thing with the cameras. He kind of knew how the cameras worked, and it was a I don't say a feel good movie, but it was a fun watch. So I enjoyed myself, and then I went to the after party. So it was like everyone's talking about the documentary, like, oh, did you like it? Did you like it? I was like, yeah, it was great, but I didn't even watch it. I went to saw another movie, and then just went to the after party for drinks. So that was my week. You doing all right?
I'm doing good, dude. I have not watched anything. I feel like I've just been so busy nonstop that like I get into bed and I just fall asleep. I don't have time to like watch a show anymore just because I'm exhausted. But hopefully I'll be able to start watching a show coming up here in the next little bit and life calms down.
Well, this is our Raw Rundown where we go over the top 10 stories of the week. Dax sort of hinted at some of the top 10 stories of the week. How do we pick those stories? It goes by Google search. It goes by data. And lastly, it goes by our personal opinions, but ultimately comes down to the data. What you guys are clicking on, just like any single newsroom, they kind of jump on what people are clicking on, and that's what we do. Do you want to get right into it? Do you want to do a review, or what do you want to do?
Let's go. Let's get into it. I don't have
Okay.
a review for you, so we're going to jump right in.
All right. Sounds good. Starting the Raw Rundown with number 10.
Number 10, Bravo is now being rocked once again by another massive lawsuit, and this is Real Housewives adjacent, but basically Chuvalo Mark Farrell, who is the ex-husband of one of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Kelly Farrell. She is one of the newcomers on the show, and her ex has now filed a lawsuit against Bravo for $200 million because he was not happy about how he was depicted on the reality show. Mark says that Kelly was involved in fabricating a storyline on the series in which it makes him look like a really bad guy, and false claims about behavior, finance, all of this according to a court report filed with that the Daily Mail got their hands on. But he is basically saying, like, she can't get away with making me look bad on national television on such a public forum because it's defaming me. And so I'm going after Bravo for $200 million, which is pretty crazy. Yeah, again, I could get into all the details, but basically they had a loan out together for $420,000. And then she's saying that he owes it. She's saying, I've already paid stuff back, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But he doesn't like how he's depicted.
Yeah, he might have a legit shot, you know? I think it's weird because the show kind of balances a line between show and reality. So I think there is something there. Now, I'm not a lawyer and I can't figure that out, but it's a sticky situation.
My thought is, I've got to imagine there's been a lot of people in this same situation where they don't like how it was edited together. But the question is, did he sign off? Like, I don't know. See, I don't watch Real Housewives of Atlanta, and I don't know, was he ever on the show? Did he sign the paperwork saying you can talk about me, you can talk about my life, and however it gets edited together, like, it is what it is? Because that's the big thing with reality shows. They've already signed the document, so the producers can edit it however they want. And if you don't like it, tough shit. But with someone like him that's already kind of out of the picture, does he have a leg to stand on? Because he's like, you are publicly making me look really bad, and I didn't sign any documents. That's the only thing I would want to know.
Yeah. And I guess when you sign the release, what's on that release where they're able to, I'm sure they're able to protect themselves pretty good when you sign that release. So, yeah, think twice before you sign those releases, guys. When they're like, hey, you know, we're in the background of this thing. Do you mind signing this release? Who knows what's going on? All right, number 9.
Number 9, Ben Simmons, the basketball superstar. His sister is coming out calling Ben's ex-girlfriend, Kendall Jenner, a rich bitch and kind of weird. And you're like, whoa. So she went on TikTok and this week, and she basically, I don't know what stirred up this reason to air out some dirty laundry here, but she claims that back in the day when Ben and Kendall were together, that they had like a game night or something and the family was together. And at one point, Kendall was like, hey, I'm going to go make some cookies. And she goes, oh, okay, random, but go make some cookies. And she's thinking, oh, maybe she's going to actually get out the ingredients. No, she like literally got out a pack, you know, one of those like Toll House packs or whatever that you cut up and you put in the oven. And Olivia's like, she couldn't even cut them straight. Like, they were the most wonky cookies, didn't know how to like cut them up properly, put them on a baking sheet. She just said it was some weird rich bitch shit, and just kind of raked her across the coals. I don't know why she did this, but she did. And now obviously there was a lot of people being like, dude, you're giving her a hard time because she tried to make cookies. Like, why are you being mean here?
It is a
little mean.
And you know what? Maybe she was trying to have a little fun with the design of the cookies. I don't know. And sometimes from making those type of cookies, sometimes there's a chocolate chip in the line, so you have to cut around it. Regardless, I've been there.
That is that is a good fact. When the chocolate chip cookie is right where the cut line is, you're screwed.
Yeah, when it's on the line, it could be a little weird. So it comes across very mean. And you know what? She seems like she was trying to be nice, do something.
Or maybe she's just trying to be funny, and now it's just come off as she's like just being mean to her.
Yeah, just mean, not necessary. Why'd she decide to do this? I did watch the video. The video was entertaining, but when you see like, it's like she doesn't need that. And you wonder if Ben Simmons, who's
I
gotten
gotta imagine
he's got to be.
He's not happy about this.
It's unnecessary. The whole thing is just unnecessary to bring up that relationship again after he's clearly moved on. He's had some issues as far as playing in the NBA. His whole career has had a lot of issues. It's so unnecessary. It wasn't even like that funny. It was an entertaining video because of her accent, but it wasn't really that funny. And we were kind of like, oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, pick and choose your battles.
I think Ben's gonna be like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Shut up! Like you're not making this good. Like this is a bad look on me. Like it's gonna blow back onto him more than it's gonna blow back onto the sister.
I think you have to start making your family sign releases. Like, guys, if you say something, like you need to put your foot down with them. Like, do not do this stuff. Like, no talking. This is, I don't know. You put a muzzle, put them on the payroll and say, hey, I'm going to pay you. Just shut up. Just don't bring up my name at all. That's all you got to do. Number 8.
Rachel Ray, she was out in public. She looks very different these days. I know she's had a lot of health issues, but she was out at, I think it was like the New York Wine and Food Festival on October 17th. And she was talking to People Magazine, and she was just saying, they were asking her, like, how do you stay married for so long? Because her and her husband have been married for 20 years now. And she's like, you take life very seriously. You don't take yourself seriously. And she said, you have to have a sense of humor. And if you're pissed off about something, say it, get it out of your system, and then shut up and never say it again, which I think is actually very good advice. But her and her husband, have had a pretty simple marriage. They kind of stay out of the limelight a lot these days. Do you remember how big, like how famous she was when she had her cooking show?
Huge. I mean, she was getting, first of all, huge guests. She had a very big studio in a very hot, like very expensive area. I hate to say it, she's obviously had some health issues, but she was a very pretty girl. I'm not saying she's not anymore. I mean, obviously she'll get, feeling good again. But yeah, like she was the girl. And now when you see her, she almost looks like Valerie Bertinelli. Like I wouldn't recognize her. I know that comes across mean, but like, yeah.
No, I think it's on. Like, I wouldn't recognize her if she walked down the street, and she just looks different. But like, I just think back about that time, and she was one of the biggest names on television, daytime television. And then she just kind of like disappeared for a while. And I know she was saying how her and her husband keep a pretty low profile, but like every year for their anniversary, they normally like get a bunch of people, and she'll like cook for 60 to 70 people every year. And then this year he's like, it's our 20th. Can we just like have a quiet year? And she's like, okay. So they went to Florence with friends.
I'd be so curious how these celebrity chefs are when it comes to actually cooking. Like, part of being a celebrity chef, you have to be a good host. You have to be good on camera. Can you present? But how many of them are actually very good at cooking? They seem like they know their stuff. I know some of them, like Guy Fieri, for example, who's one of the nicest people in the world, and he gets so much shit for his restaurants, but it's like he's just an easy target. People want to go after him. But I would love to like eat, if they actually made me lunch or dinner, I would love to eat the food and try it.
I just wonder, because I don't know about you, but like when people hit me up during non-entertainment work hours, like if I am out and someone's like, oh, hey, can you fill me in on the latest with the Beckhams? I'm not into it. Like, I don't care. I wonder if celebrity chefs are the same thing. Like, I don't want to be cooking food right now because I'm not on television. I'm not getting paid for it. And so, no, I don't want to cook food. Do you get annoyed when people ask about entertainment news stories when you've like already recorded the podcast? And
no, to me, I'm like, I get it. I'm so used to it now. I get it. But they think I'm going to have some like dirt. I'm like, dude, I just read the same article you did. I didn't break any story, but I did do a story this morning. I did. I'm dealing with it right now, actually. I don't want to get into. I don't even know the details.
Will it be out by the time this airs?
It should be. I don't want to get into it.
Just give me the headline. Give me the headline.
Someone got their car stolen in a very unique way. Number 7.
Dakota Johnson revealing her biggest red flag when it comes to men, and it's something so dumb. So she was talking about her split, obviously, from Coldplay frontman Chris Martin, and she was talking in Vogue. They have their, question of series that they put up on YouTube, and she was asked if she has any red flags. Would you guess what she would say is her biggest red flag when it comes to men?
Well, I read this story. If you gave me multiple choice, I would never guessed it.
All right, so her answer was men who wear flip-flops in public run. What?
Yeah.
That's your red flag? Men who wear freaking flip-flops in public? What a dumb answer. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I just was like, okay, I don't know. And not to mention, she dated Chris Martin, who famously walks around barefoot everywhere. Like, he's always out in public, just walking around barefoot. I'm like, to me, that would be a bigger red flag because it's gross all the time.
Yeah.
Like, you're walking in and out of public bathrooms shoeless. Nah, that's a bigger red flag than in flip-flops. Sorry.
Yeah, it's I mean, I can understand like flip-flops and jeans, like, because that's a weird, look. But I remember applying for a job at Abercrombie, not even apply, back in the day. This was 30, I don't know. This was 25, probably 25 years ago. I was talking to this girl who worked at Abercrombie, and I would go see her at the store. And then one day they're like, hey, you should work here too. And she's like, yeah, you should work here too. And I was like, all right, I get to work with you. I'll come and do it. Why not? Fill out the application, do the interview part. They're like, okay, you start tomorrow. You gotta wear like jeans and flip-flops. Like, wait, what? Jeans and flip-flops? I'm not doing that. I'm good. That's not my look. That's not my style. That's so cheesy. So I was like, I'm not folding clothes and t-shirt and jeans and sandals. And they're like, yeah, that's our style. I was like, yeah, forget it. So
we're gonna need 5 gallons of cologne on you as well.
Yeah. I mean, interesting, but yeah. And you're gonna walk out of the store smelling like a mall somehow. I don't know. But yeah. So I get it. Yeah. Does that make you look at her differently?
Well, I just think it's dumb. Like, if that is your biggest red flag in life, not like, oh, a guy who talks to multiple girls at the same time, or, something that I feel like, okay, is a legitimate red flag. Yeah. Flip-flops in public is just, I don't know, it's so dumb. She might have been just I don't know why she just she always just rubs me the wrong way. I don't know why.
She might have just walked out of like a Chipotle and saw a dude wearing that. I'm like, oh, I'm just so creeped out by this person. I got to tell you about this guy I saw at Chipotle. I would never date a guy who wears sandals. Like in that part, I get it. Like, it's such a distinct thing that's out of your mind. But yeah, I'm going to judge her the next time I see her wearing sandals in public. Next time I see her wearing sandals in public, like, ew.
Yeah. Like, huh? You know what I judge is women who wear see-through dresses all the time in public and show off their nipples. Because that's all she does is wear see-through dresses. So that's a red flag.
That is true. I mean, yeah, last outfit I saw, she was wearing you just basically saw her both butt cheeks. And one of them had a little bit of line in it, which means she just went to the bathroom. Like, she just sat on the toilet. So you know what I mean? So I was like, oh, you just got off the toilet. So I was like, that is gnarly. That's gnarly. Number 6.
More drama in the Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively crap. Basically, Justin Baldoni's studio honcho calls Blake Lively's accusations manufactured in a recorded phone call. This is the big story that broke. TMZ broke this story this week. There's a new audio recording in this that reveals Justin's business partner trashing Blake's allegations of inappropriate behavior during a secretly recorded phone call. And I'm like, oh, God, who cares? But Clara Youb, who wrote and directed Empire Waste, produced a Wayfair that was produced by Wayfair and Baldoni, says she recorded her phone call chat with Wayfair's billionaire co-founder Steve Sarowitz. And basically, in September 2025 declaration, Claire says she endured repeated negative interactions and verbal abuse from Baldoni when they worked on Empire Waste, and that's why she recorded the phone call. In the audio, I guess this was filed with by Lively's attorney. Everything was made up. It was manufactured on purpose to take Justin down, referring to the drama during all the whole "this ends with us" stuff. And he added, "Justin has never had a bad set. but it was worse set than he's ever been on. Still, they tried to downplay the whole thing. I'm sorry. I find this. I'm just so over it, dude. I'm trying to tell the story, and I fucking hate it. I don't.
There just
care
hasn't
anymore.
been good. They keep getting news. It keeps kind of putting.
But
gas
it's not
on the
even
story.
news. Like, how is this news? This is like not even a story that people are so fascinated around, and it's not even entertaining anymore. It's like
I think right now we're just trying to keep the story alive. However, there hasn't been any good takes from it lately. Any new updates? Like,
yeah, but why did this
like,
story get so much attention? Like, this was a big story this week, and I have read through it 4 or 5 times being like, why does anyone care? Is it just because their names get traffic that people want to keep doing stuff? This is not a story. This is like, again, he said, she said shit, and it continues with the same thing. Like, there's no new news here.
Yeah. I'm with you. You're right. I don't just we're using it as our news, one of our top stories of the week. But you're right. There is no news in this thing. But people clicked on it.
It's like people stop clicking on this shit so I can stop reading about it because it's not interesting anymore.
Just let me know when it's over. Let me know what the settlement was, and I'll see the first post from each person saying, "We're glad to put this behind us." That's all it is.
Yeah.
That's how it's going to finish. Number 5.
Janet Jackson. Here's actually a story that's news, but Janet Jackson apparently wanted Tupac Shakur to take an AIDS test before their kiss in that movie Poetic Justice back in the day. This is all coming out in a new book, but basically this new book is by a guy. Let me find his name. Jeff Pearlman is his name, and he did a new book called Only God Can Judge Me, The Many Lives of Tupac Shakur. So he puts out this book, and in there he recounts a time when Tupac and Janet were filming this movie, and she was just like, man, he's got quite the reputation of kind of being, you know, a man about the town. And so she said, we've got this kissing scene. AIDS was obviously a big deal back then, and because it was filmed back in 1993. And so she's like, hey, I want him to take a test because I don't want to be swapping saliva with someone who potentially could have AIDS unless, you know, he proves otherwise. And apparently Tupac was not happy when he heard through production that she wanted that. But eventually, I mean, they ended up kissing. So I'm assuming he ended up taking the test. But he basically was like, who the hell does she think she is? She can go fuck herself. I'm not going to go get this test. And then I'm pretty sure he went and got the test because the kissing scene. And like, they had really good chemistry in that movie.
Great chemistry.
But
unbelievable chemistry in that movie.
Yeah, but apparently on set, it wasn't like that. Like, they didn't have good chemistry and they were kind of bumping heads. So kind of interesting. It shows what good actors these two musicians were, you know?
I'm curious if Tupac was with us today, what kind of, I said this recently, but what kind of celebrity would he be? Because charismatic, great actor, great rapper, entertaining. Like, he was a star. I never met him, but when you looked at a guy, like, oh, this guy's a star. So I wonder what he would have been like in today's world. I mean, I'm sure he'd been involved in some huge business, but he was.
That's what I would think.
I
think he would be a massive businessman. Like, maybe we wouldn't be getting all the music out of him still at this point in his life, but I could see him going the way of like Dr. Dre, or, you know, like just have putting his money and his time into business and really accumulating a ton of wealth that way.
Yeah. I think about that a lot, actually, about Tupac. Man, like when I start listening to his music, I still, it's funny, I just put on Eazy-E on my Spotify the other day. I'm like, man, this stuff was so good. And then, because like the new rap is not for me, but Tupac, Eazy-E, NWA, Dr. Dre, Biggie, great stuff. Anyway, I'm just rambling. Number 4.
Hell has frozen over. Kristin Cavallari and Lauren Conrad are back to being friends, you guys. This is a big deal. They recently had their Laguna Beach reunion, and apparently Kristin Cavallari didn't even want to go in the first place. She talked about it on her podcast this week, let's be honest. That's the name of her podcast, not me saying it. And she talked about how, you know, I didn't really want to go, but I ended up going, which she ended up becoming an executive producer on it. So it makes makes sense why she went. But apparently it was her and Lauren have kind of put everything behind them. They've had years long feud. even though I can't imagine that it was really much of a feud at this point in their lives. It was more a storyline, and they probably just, hey, we're not really friends, so there's no reason for us to like try to have a friendship here at this point. But they ended up taking a photo together, posting it on social media, and they just said that, Kristin just said she had like a really, really good time, and it was almost like cathartic being there, and having spent this time with these people. Now looking back, it was a fun time in her life.
Yeah, do you want to say? Should we say what happened? Do you want to talk about what happened with someone who reached out regarding all this stuff, or is it even worth it?
What are you talking about? We can talk about it. I just don't know what you're talking
about. What's his name?
Who reached out to us? Talent reached out, but he was just looking for a video.
Yeah, but we kind of want his. I'm sure this reunion is gonna be pretty big. I mean, I think everyone wants to see Kristin, LC, and Steven and all in the same room. I mean, it's so far removed now. I think we've all wanted them to hate each other. I'm just curious we see kind of where they all are. I think we just want to see how it's going to be. I think Kristin's going to be the one who kind of spilled the tea even more than anyone. I think Steven's always been sort of quiet on it. So has LC, but
and LC's been Kristin's quiet. Smart. She just does her thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Kristin's smart. She's like, no, I'm going to work this and play into this more. I mean, that's why didn't she just earn a 7-figure podcast deal?
Yes. She just signed a massive podcast deal. All we know is 7 figures, so I don't know how high into the millions it is, but this is a big deal for her because she airs her life and people are attracted to, her podcast and what she spills, and that, like, she's a very open book, and I think it's really working out for her. But I don't know, fun to see people back together. By the way, I went to the 20-year TMZ unofficial party this past week. I told you I'd tell you about it.
You got an invite. I didn't get an invite.
I got an invite.
I wouldn't go either. I wouldn't go across the country for it. I would go across the country for my high school reunion, not for this.
It was so fun, like getting to run into all these people that I haven't seen. Again, it was our 20 years, so it's kind of funny that it like matches up with Laguna Beach. But getting to see these people 15, 20 years later that I haven't seen, they kind of, whatever, they moved on from TMZ and they were out of my life. But I got to see Mike Walters, who was on the show. I got to see Max. I got to see, Charlie Neff. I got to see all these people that I spent a lot of time with in person. It was really fun. I loved it.
Yeah, I'm glad you had a good time.
Max is crazy, by the way. We've had him on the podcast. Everyone always asks me like, oh, what happened to the blonde surfer guy on TMZ? Well, I saw him this weekend and he was still crazy as usual, having a good time, just drinking like a fish at the bar. But he is such a just bundle of energy at all moments. Like he's just nonstop. Just
I'll tell you what,
working the bar. All the girls are flocking to him. It's hilarious.
When I was at TMZ, I went to the Christmas party. I remember we got flown out to go to the Christmas party. And I was so excited to meet everyone. Because to me, you guys were like stars. But also like, I wasn't on the show, but my voice on the show, my videos were on the show. So I was excited to meet everyone. I remember my parents were like, man, you got to meet the surfer dude. Like, I'm like, oh, cool. So I went out there, and I got to be honest, everyone was not really like the warmest to me, including you, Dax. And I was like, yo, what's up, man? I'm Adam. And they were like, oh, nice to meet you, man. Like, you were very.
Are you talking about me at this moment? Yeah. What was our first interaction? Because I don't remember.
You weren't a dick, but you weren't like overly warm. And but you were just, hey, man, nice to meet you. It was very like on the surface. I was like, oh, okay. And I remember going to the Christmas party. I didn't know anybody, and no one like talked to me at the party. And I was like, kind of like, and I get it, they didn't really know me either, but I kind of went out of my way to like go and meet everyone who was on the show because like I felt like obligated to like meet those people. I was also a fan. I was on the show, my videos were, but I was also a fan of the show. And I remember the only one who was overly cool to me was Max, and he was the nicest dude to me. And at the party, and then I remember being at the party and like nobody talking to me, and I just left the party and walked down Sunset by myself. And just went back to my hotel. I was like, I don't know. What am I supposed to do? Like,
so sad.
I looked like honestly, it was so sad. I remember being like, I don't want people to be like, what was that guy standing in the corner? It's like, nobody's talking to me. No one's like being really coming. I was like, I'm just
where was home. This party?
I don't remember where it was.
Okay.
I don't remember where it was, but I remember there was some like random blonde star, like celebrity that like was there, like a Shauna Sands or something like that, or I
So this was the one at like Bootsy Bellows?
could be, yeah,
Because I got Shauna Sand to go that time.
Yeah, I remember Shauna Sand was there, I think, and I was like, oh, okay, but I remember and I just walked down Melrose or Sunset by myself and just went back. I was like, what am I supposed to do? Like, yeah, it was weird, but
that's
whatever.
So sad, Adam. I'm sorry. I was a dick to you the first time. Well,
you
not
weren't
a dick,
but you weren't like warm, And I was like,
I have to say, so I will tell you from my perspective, during those nights, I felt like there's so many people coming up and talking that you don't get to see that it's very surface level in the moment. Like, oh, hey, I want you to meet my grandma that I brought to the Christmas party. Oh, nice to meet you. Like, it's a lot of interactions like that. So I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it was weird. No, it's fine.
But you look like a douche that night.
Look at me. I'm doing all right. What's up?
I said, but you look like a douche that night. What can I say?
I probably did. I was probably wearing like a beret or something like that. Like, I'm not going to talk to that guy in the fedora. Like, oh, that guy's wearing a fedora. Imagine I showed up wearing a fedora. You're like, dude, I'm not talking to that weirdo. All right, number 3.
There is a lot of mixed reporting going on this week on whether or not Trump is going to commune Diddy's sentence. So this story came out in TMZ earlier in the week saying that Trump was basically really thinking about going ahead and commuting. Is it commuting? What is it called?
Like that. Yeah, I don't know what that word is.
Basically cutting his sentence short and letting him get out of prison as early as this week. So TMZ puts up this whole story, and then the White House is like, yeah, no, that's not true. And TMZ then fires back and says, no, we are sticking by our story. So I don't know what the truth is here, because TMZ, I know that they have really good sources, but the White House is saying it's not true. So I don't know. I guess we sit back and we wait to see what the hell happens if Trump does basically cut his sentence short. Could be really interesting. And I would also say why. Like what does that do for him to cut his sentence short? Why would he do that?
No, I don't know. But it's a weird story because, again, if this happens, it becomes huge news. But White House is saying no. TMZ is saying yes. I don't know who to believe here. Like you said, we just have to wait and see.
And the only reason that
if he does cut it short, wow. I mean, I don't know how anybody could really be like, yeah, like.
Yeah, but there's there's no there's some people that I would say like, oh yeah, they're behind bars, that the sentence almost doesn't fit the crime. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's some people that I would say, okay, I could see why he would do that. But like, he let Todd and Julie Chrisley out earlier this year. He let out George Santos this year.
That was these are all again like white collar crimes a little bit. This was a little bit more danger to human bodies and trafficking. So there's a little bit more there.
There
was some violence. Like, Diddy's a violent person.
If it turned around and it was like, well, Diddy's gonna pay for the new ballroom at the White House, I'd be like, oh, so he did it for that reason. Like, I just don't see how it would benefit Trump in any regard to let him out at this point. It just seems like a bad PR move, in my opinion.
I agree. But again, the White House is saying no. Dax, number 2.
Number 2, Jaime Lynn Spears has now unfollowed Kevin Federline on Instagram. so scandalous. No, but Kevin Federline obviously is releasing his new memoir, and in there he talked about some text messages between him and Jaime Lynn Spears and his wife, Victoria Prince. And in those text messages, they were centered around Britney and the boys. And basically, Jaime Lynn had apparently written, honestly, this makes me want to cry because I feel for those boys so much. I'm her little sister by 10 years, and I can't imagine what her actual children must feel like at times. But I'm familiar with the feeling of being a dinghy trying to survive in a wave caused by another ship, feeling like you have to rescue yourself. I always wanted her to get better, especially for the boys. So he puts that in there, and then continues to talk about Jaime Lynn in the book, saying that she went on to admit that she is starting to resent Britney for how she has treated Preston and Jaden for all these years. And she is, quote unquote, I'm trying to come to the terms with how she could be so unaware of anything outside of herself. That quote right there, as I bet what got her unfollowed, because she is talking shit on her sister, right?
Yeah.
And then she apparently went on to say to Federline, I don't think there's enough money or material things in the world that would be enough to repay y'all for doing what Brittany couldn't be bothered to do as a parent. I am sure my sister has never thanked y'all for raising her children. Ooh, that is probably definitely not something she wanted out into the public. Federline was asked, did you get Jaime Lynn's approval to post these private text messages between the two of you? And he goes, I'm not going to comment on that. That is kind of gnarly. I feel like that kind of is a breach of trust there. If you are in with the family in one regards, you may not be close with Brittany, but Jaime Lynn is the aunt to those boys, and you just really threw under the bus by publishing all of these private text messages between you. So I feel like that was a violation of privacy. I know it gets his point across. It makes Brittany look bad, the whole thing. Like, even Brittany's family's on my side, but not when you air it out like that.
Yeah. Again, I don't know how the book business works these days. I mean, this is a different one because the fan base for Brittany is so massive that I think people read this book. But in general, when you put out so many of these little kind of things out for people to read the book, personally, I don't need to read the book anymore. All the stories keep coming up. I'm like, no, I feel like I read the book already. I don't know if it actually works in their favor.
You and I both know that it doesn't work in your favor. We've had podcasts that have gotten so massive and been on every, blog and podcast, and everyone has covered all the things in our episode. And it didn't even end up being our biggest episode because everyone talked about it, that there was no need for people to come and actually listen to it themselves. We've seen the reverse side of this where, yeah, you get all this press and it's great and everyone's talking about your podcast and your episode and your guest, but they're talking about it so much that people then don't feel the need to come and listen to it. So I'm going to assume I don't need to read his book now. I'm reading all these quotes online. Then I'm like, okay, I feel like I got the gist of it. He also talked about how he recalls allegedly getting a phone call from Brittany when she was hanging out with Paris Hilton and Lindsay Lohan one night, and that she was with the kids and she could hear the kids crying in the back, or he could hear the kids crying in the background while she was basically partying with Paris and Lindsay. And he was like, yeah, you could totally tell she was under the influence of alcohol, and I'm hearing my kids cry in the background. He's like, that was when I was just like, enough is enough.
Whew. Yeah. It's a lot. I want to see if Kevin Federline could still dance. That's what I really want. I don't care about the book. I'm like, Kevin Federline, can you still dance? And do you still know the lyrics of Popo's Out? That's what I want to know.
Popo's out. Popo's out.
He was great. He really was great at that time. Like, he was like, man, he was such a character. All right, Dax, the number one story of the week.
Number one story of the week, Victoria Beckham. I cannot believe she sat down for a podcast, but she did. She sat down and did the Call Her Daddy podcast, which, I mean, good job to Alex Cooper for being able to land fucking Victoria Beckham. How did she do that? But Victoria is obviously promoting her new Netflix documentary, so she went on the podcast. I guess she was very hesitant to go on in the first place because Alex Cooper, talks all about sex and all this kind of stuff, and so I think she was a little nervous. But the big headline from the week is that Victoria opened up about her past eating disorder and how it was very all-consuming in her life. She had to talk to her daughter about the eating disorder because she was like, I know it could be in my upcoming Netflix documentary. I haven't seen the final cut. So I need to talk to Harper about what this is, why it affected my life, why it was so consuming, because a young kid, that's going to be a very confusing topic for her. So, because I think Harper's only 14 right now. So anyway, and then she got into her marriage with David, and Alex briefly kind of tried to push on the topic of cheating and how did you deal with all of these big stories over the years? And Victoria basically said, look, we've been thrown so much stuff in the news. It is what it is, and we have dealt and we have made it through, and they have now been married for 26 years. And she goes, it's not always easy. It just isn't. Being so popular, so famous, and everyone's attention on you, it's not always as glamorous as it looks.
Yeah, there's one other thing like that, about the Spice Girls reunion, about them possibly coming together. And I think it's funny part is she's just like, I'm not a good singer. Like, let's be real. And it's funny to be like, no, you are. Like, no, I'm not. Like, I was never really that great of a
I always
singer.
said she's not a great singer. It's
I
not
think
her
it's
thing.
hysterical for her to be like, yeah, I wasn't a great singer. Like, it's funny. Like, oh, you were one of the, you sold out Wembley, whatever, but you weren't a good singer.
Yeah, but she was
okay.
She was part of a bigger act, and some of those other women have better voices, and so I think she doesn't feel confident as a singer anymore. She's like, I've found my niche. I'm a fashion guru. You know what I'm saying? So so she's like, why would I go to sing anymore? It's not my thing. I feel dumb on stage doing it. You guys got me out to do it for the Olympics that one year. Like, leave me alone.
Yeah.
If you don't feel comfortable, leave me alone.
Yeah, it's true. But people still are obsessed with Victoria Beckham. It's funny. I ran into one of her security people this year, the other day, and I'm talking to them, and I was like, listen, there's the paparazzi industry is sort of like not really growing. It's sort of like in a still thing, and there's very few people who sell. And Victoria's one of them. Like, Victoria's the one that obviously always moves the needle. People are always obsessed with.
Why do you think
not just her? It's her style. It's her fashion.
Yeah.
It's her fashion. It becomes a fashion. She always looks good, and that's what I think really what it comes down to. It's like,
well,
they're coming at you
why
because not for storyline. It's more fashion. So take it as a compliment. But you know what it is?
That's why Kim sells too, because of fashion. So I think that people are interested to see what they're wearing, what new outfit they have on, and so it still sells for magazines and websites because people will click on it to be like, "Oh, I wonder what she's wearing today."
Sure, 100%. That is our Raw Rundown. Thank you guys for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Check out our private Facebook group, Off the Record. We all hang out in there and BS with each other. And Dax is going to be talking. Let us know if you're going to BravoCon. Dax is going to be out there. It's coming up.
Guys, come join me at BravoCon. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, let us know if you're going to be going to BravoCon. Follow me at Adam Glyn. Follow Dax Holt at Dax Holt. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Later. Guys, hope you liked that video. We got a lot more where that came from.
Hit that bell, like, subscribe, share with a friend. The best thing you do to support us is really doing that. And we really need the money because we need hair gel.